The Devil's Advocates, the big and tall of political commentary on the Mike 92.1 and the Mike921.com.
And we're back from the 420 break. Please like the Facebook page, The Devil's Advocates Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Devil Radio and give us a call. Let us know what you have to say, 608-321-0921. We are doing another Facebook challenge today, ladies and gentlemen. First person to like the Facebook page will win an original Devil's Advocates t-shirt. I want to be like Mike. Mike?
I know you do, buddy. I actually, I wasn't quite ready for the Rocky Balboa song. I was just going to give you a quick update on my 28-day health club challenge. I'm at boot camp, buddy. I have been dreading it all week, and I skipped on Thursday because we had the news conference up at the Capitol or at the Democratic Party. So I went today, and I got there, and I ate early.
Nice.
And I hydrated myself.
Excellent.
And I made it through the entire hour workout by the skin of my teeth, buddy.
Without getting sick.
Without getting sick.
See? This is progress, my friend.
Modest baby steps. But I want to be like Mike, man.
Oh.
Hey, first of all, I wanted to point out, Dominic, and one of our Facebook friends brought it to my attention, Chris McDonough. I give you full credit for this. It took 4 years to get Blago in Illinois, Dominic. Patience.
Yeah,
they're going to get him soon, talking about Scott Walker, of course. And it's better that we take our time and make it stick.
That's a great point.
We got Lawrence holding on the phone. Lawrence, welcome to the Devil's Advocates.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is a response to something that Dominic said regarding the necessity of communication between the staff of an office holder and the campaign of that.
You're right,
that
Lawrence.
Office holder were running for another office.
Sure.
Am I correct about that?
Absolutely, sir.
I'll just give you an example of the way things ought to be. I had cause to call, at that time, State Representative Mark Pocan's office. He was my state representative. This was at the time of the recall election, so the matter I was calling about didn't even concern Mark Pocan's campaign for the U.S. House of Representatives. And I was concerned about the way the Barrett campaign and indeed the entire Democratic Party were running the recall election. And I thought actually they should be concentrating on different issues than they concentrated on. But
Lawrence, what kind of issues would have been your preference?
I called Mark Pocan's office. I was told in no uncertain terms immediately by the person answering the phone, "I'm sorry, sir. I am paid by the state, and I cannot talk with you during the time that I am paid to do the people's work. I cannot talk with you about campaign-related issues, whether they involve my candidate or the candidacy of another Democratic person running for office."
Lawrence, that's an interesting point. I mean, I think Democrats know how to follow rules. I think the campaign caucus scandal, if nothing else, taught us that. Lawrence needs to fire up, man. Some 5-hour energy or something.
Well, and maybe it's a better safe than sorry, and certainly there's good points, but there certainly has to be some sort of communication. I think there's an acceptable level. It's been brought up in defense of Walker for these cases, and I'm sure anytime you have a Democrat or Republican or Libertarian candidates that already have an office, there's got to be some communication. Perhaps they could have referred them to the campaign to answer that question.
Well, Lawrence, thanks for making that very good point. We are going to have Ron Kind on the show in just a short time. Ron Kind is the 3rd District Congressman. He's held that seat since 1996. Dom, that's our neck of the woods, buddy. That's where we went to college, lacrosse.
Lacrosse, excellent.
I think we were done with college by 96, but I still lived up there shortly thereafter. I, as a young journalist, covered Ron Kind. He and a young Senator, Russ Feingold, were actually two guys back in the mid-90s when I was covering them I was impressed by what they brought to the table, the new thought, the new ideas. And now Ron has served his time out in D.C. I don't know what the hell he got done in the last 15, 20 years.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. We're going to ask him. I will point out one thing. He is on the Ways and Means Committee, Dom, that has jurisdiction over tax policy. You can certainly talk to him about financial issues.
I think I have one question in mind.
The only question I have in mind is Ron is a lacrosse native, and you and I went to lacrosse, the finer institution of higher learning there, the University of Wisconsin La Crosse.
Beautiful campus.
And although Ron grew up within 2 miles of the campus, he opted for Harvard University.
What?
What an elitist. Looking forward to have Ron kind on. We jest. Let's talk about some good news in the state of Wisconsin, at least for those of us that believe in First Amendment rights, Dominic. There was a dismissal of the last 8 citations against a Capitol protester named Jason Huberty. It could be a game changer, according to a Cap Times article today by Stephen Elbow. Towards the crackdown on the Solidarity singers that gather each day to, let the Republican Party of Wisconsin know we don't like them. The crackdown was launched by Capitol Police Chief David Irwin last September and has resulted in at least 120 citations so far. Now, what this hopefully will do is it will relieve some of the financial burden. I mean, these citations are $200 a pop, Dom, and if you want to go and show your support of the Solidarity Singers, they keep giving you citations. The biggest loser, according to the article, could be a young man named Brandon Barwick. I'm not sure how young he is, but he has racked up over $4,600 in citations as a possible instigator, if you will, of the Solidarity sing-along each day. And additionally, a judge could add or impose additional penalties to a maximum of a $1,000 ticket. The young man said, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little concerned, but I'm really confident in Bob, my attorney. Bob Jambois has taken on several of the protesters' cases. I think this is all about First Amendment free speech rights, Dominic. It is.
All right. You brought up this Captain David Irwin. Is he the one who made this administrative rule? I mean, who was the one who decided that this was going to happen?
Well, you don't think it came down from DOA and Mike Hipsch and Scott Walker?
Well, I'm asking
most
the question.
Of all. To my understanding, you could not change the administrative codes without the support and, the legislature. I mean, look at the new rules that have been instituted in our Senate, in our Wisconsin Assembly. You cannot even take notes. You cannot take a photograph. You cannot take, video, Dominic. What is the Wisconsin Republican Party afraid of? Are they afraid of being shamed because they run a hell of an illegal institution up there, Dom?
We have callers waiting. We got Jen on the line. Jen, welcome to the show. What do you got for us today?
Hi, thanks. I was calling about Tim Russell's sentence, and I think it's pretty significant that the judge did not follow the plea agreement.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, he doesn't have to, but I think we need to be clear that the judge actually sentenced him to 7 years of imprisonment, and he imposed 2, and he's on extended supervision, otherwise known as parole, for 5. He also has restitution over like $20,000 that he has to pay.
Well, he stole over $20,000, did he not, Jen?
Exactly. But I'm just saying it's more than the headlines or that people are making a big deal about. And generally, they will follow the plea agreement. It's very rare that they don't. And I think that it speaks a lot to how upsetting this white-collar crime, because that's really what it is.
Well,
how this has all gone down.
Jen,
the lying and everything.
Jen, thanks for that clarification on the sentencing point, meaning that if Tim Russell perpetrates again while he is on parole or probation, he could be re-imprisoned for up to 7 years.
Good. In
total, Dominic. It is good, man. When a guy's stealing money, even as a first offender, I don't think he was, he's not the typical first offender that stole a bag of candy from the store. Folks, we are the Devil's Advocates. Looking forward to having 3rd District Congressman Ron Kind coming up after this short break.